Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom, to the Torah, Shah's Yasha, Allah, giving records, all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, MASHAK, MAMALAK, YAHAWASHI. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of His only begotten Son, YAHAWASHI. This brother Yasha, Allah, coming back to y'all yet another video through the Spirit and power, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, MASHAK, MAMALAK, YAHAWASHI. Alright, so we'll be going into some current events and basically touching on the protests and the uproars of the people that's been going on in the world, man. Because remember, we're living in the end times. We're not living during the time of, ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, ancient Rome. That's obvious. We're living during the end times. We don't have, we can't put it on our mind and think for 1 second that we still have 400 years in this world, right? We can't think in our mind that we still have another 1,000 years, right? You know what I'm saying? We can't be thinking like that. Because we are drawing near unto the end. So many prophecies are being fulfilled right now as we speak. Certain people sit back at home, watching the NFL game, watching the NBA game, and thinking about all that stuff. All hell is literally breaking loose around the world. And we have to be paying attention to this stuff. Right? The Lord said you have to watch. That's Luke chapter 21, verse 36. Let's get that precept. Luke 21, verse 36. It says what? Watch ye therefore. So we have to watch. And pray always. Pray always. Why? So we may stay in the spirit. Because as soon as we get out that spirit, as soon as we get out the spirit, and we're susceptible to demons hopping on us and manipulating our mind and causing us to go off, right? It says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that you may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And that's the end goal. We want to escape Jacob's trouble. We want to escape the pollutions of the world. We want to escape the world. We want to overcome the world, even as Yahawashi overcame the world, and stand before Yahawashi, right? In the kingdom of heaven. That's the end goal. Bringing our people back, right, to our land. Let's go to this video though, right? So this is in Parliament Square. I believe this is in Britain, and there's been a lot of protests over all the world, man. Because for one, because of the damn jab mandates, people are not willing to take this jab that has been pushed around and required for people to take in order to sustain their jobs, in order for them to stay where they live, in order for them to receive certain benefits within the society, and that's all that is a work of Satan. All that is a work of Satan. But literally there have been uproars of the people all around the world, even since last year too. Last year was about police brutality, and that was all throughout the world. Now it's more so about the mandates of these jabs, the bee stings. All right, so let's play this. So when you see that, and when I see that, that reminds me of the damn, the purge, because the air siren raid that was in the background. It looks like literally the end of the world. It looks like the end of the world. People people fighting against the police. You know what I'm saying? And these are random people, man. These are not, trained militia that's fighting against the police. These are random people. Protesters, that are not willing to submit to submit to police authority, right? To governmental authority. And this is all throughout the world. Like I said, let's go to this clip. So as you can see, these protesters, I'm not really sure where this is, but they're being pushed back. So these police, they're being pushed back by these protesters. The protesters are damn near stoning them, you know what I'm saying? Picking up stones and throwing at these policemen. And pretty soon, it's not just going to be stones, man. It's going to be guns, and it's going to be guns on the other side as well. Right? Remember, let's go to the book of real quick, 2nd Esdras. All right, let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 16. All right, actually, let's go to 2nd Esdras 15. God, 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So one people is going to fight up to stand against another with swords in their hands. That's how they're going to fight each other. And remember, these swords are not just, damn medieval swords, right? These swords are talking about what? Guns, because that's the modern day sword. Guns, grenades, even, whatever they're going to use. You know what I'm saying? Pistols, rifles. It may actually be, real swords. You never know. It could be in certain places like that. They may use actual swords to fight against each other. The sword is just a general term in this instance talking about the weapons of man, right? Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So that's what's happening right now, sedition. And sedition is going into what? Overthrow of the government. Speaking against the government, because remember, the government only has so much power, right? The government only has so much power. The government has a lot of power, but the thing is, if the people rebel against that government, guess what? The government has certain problems that they have to deal with, and that's one of their problems. And remember, governments are different all throughout the world, and America's not even a democratic government either. It's a facade. It's not democratic. The government of Babylon the Great is turning more tyrannical each day, because they're opposing these mandates, and they're imposing these, these jab mandates, to where if you don't get it, if you don't get the bee sting, now you can't work, now you can't eat, now you can't drink, unless you submit to us, to all authority, and that's tyrannical. All right, that's tyrannical. Let's go to this word real quick. Q, right? It's a French word. Q, right? What does it mean? A sudden, violent, and illegal seizure of power from a government. So that's what's going to happen throughout all the world as well. Qs. People are going to be storming the damn governmental offices, and that has happened all throughout history. If it happened in history, guess what? It's going to happen again. Because like that saying goes, history repeats itself. And why is that? Let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and God requireth that which is past. So the Most High requires that which is past. Whatever happens in the past has to happen in the future, man. Right? It has to happen. So if there's been overthrows of governments back in the past, it's going to happen again. If there was World War I and there was World War II, there's going to be World War III, right? And we can all see that through our prophecy. We can all link that up with Scripture, right? And remember, right now, these people, those policemen, they're backing up, you know. In Britain, they're backing up. In America, they may back up. But the thing is, they're not going to back up all the time. A day is coming when they're going to actually start using force, okay, on the people, and then that's when all hell is going to start breaking loose, when they start putting their hands on the people, and they start actually retaliating against the people, and when the government officials say, "Hey, shoot to kill," right, or wound them up, or whatever command that they might give them, they give them the green light, you know. That's going to happen, man. You better believe that's going to happen. Because, hey, these damn policemen, they're not going to just keep backing up. You got hit in the head with a damn rock, you know. Got busted in the head with a damn stick, or they got hit in the head. You know, they might, certain policemen, they might even got maced by these protesters, right? Because remember, the Lord, He's the Father of spirits. Let's go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 9. He's the Father of spirits, man. Right? It says, furthermore, we have had our fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. So what is this going to? It's going into basically in time past we have had our fathers, our fleshly fathers, our earthly fathers, and we gave them reverence. We honored them, right? And they corrected us, right? Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits? So who's the Father of spirits? Right? The Father of spirits is talking about the Most High God, the Father, Yahawah, right? And live. So we should be in subjection to the Father of spirits. Because remember, the Lord, He has 7 spirits up there in by His throne. Right? Let's go to Revelation. I believe chapter 1 verse 19. Right? Revelation 1 and verse 19. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter, the mystery of the 7 stars which thou sawest in my right hand, and the 7 golden candlesticks. The 7 stars are the angels of the 7 churches, and the 7 candlesticks which thou sawest are the 7 churches. Now these 7 angels stand before the Most High's throne, right? Let me get this precept right. Remember, Salaki, I just want to make a point. You know, these 7 spirits of God, 7 spirits of the Most High. Oh yeah, Revelation 4 and 5 says, and out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices, all praises. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High. So these are the 7 spirits of the Most High. Remember, 7 is the number of completion. All right, that's Matthew 18 and let's get this precept real quick. Matthew 18 and 21, right? Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? So Peter asked the Lord, hey, Lord, how many times does my brother sin against me, and I'm going to forgive him? 7 times, and then that's it? Like after that, do I still have to forgive him, or what? Verse 22, Yahawashi saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but 70 times 7. So 70 times 7 is what? 490. Now, does the Lord literally mean, after 459 times, 450 first time, that's it. Now, after that, you don't have to forgive your brother. No. 70 times 7 is just complete, perfected amount, like infinite amount, right? Remember, the Lord has innumerable amounts of angels around His throne, man. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22. But ye are come unto the Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels. So the Lord around His throne has an innumerable amount. Innumerable means what? It cannot be numbered. So you can't number how many angels are around the Most High's throne. It's impossible. You can't sit down and start counting all the angels that are around the Most High's throne. That would be like trying to count all the stars which are in heaven. Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's innumerable, right? So, those spirits, remember, the Lord has all different types of spirits. Spirits of envy, spirits of jealousy, which are basically the same thing, but, spirits of lust, lasciviousness, spirits of murder, spirits of adultery, spirits of fornication, spirits of taking the name's Lord in vain, spirits of workout. Certain people have workout spirits on them. So there's all different types of spirits, and the Lord is the Father of all of them. So the Lord, he can put any type of spirit on the people and make them to start rising up. See, that's the spirit rising up or arousing the people. You know what I'm saying? And making them want to rebel. Because this never happened before. There's always been rebellions, but not like at this scale. Not at this scale. Right? Let's go to 2 Kings real quick. I want to bring this account out. 2 Kings chapter 7. Right? 2 Kings chapter 7 and verse. Right. All right, come on. 2 Kings 7 and 1. Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, Tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. So when you read this account in 2 Kings chapter 6, Elisha prophesied that there will be a famine in the land, and there was a famine in Israel, in Samaria. When you read 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 25, all right? 2 Kings 6 and 25, it says, And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 4 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cap of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. So that's high inflammation right there. That's inflammation in the scriptures. Remember, inflammation is caused by what? When you study economics, you have to study the law of supply and demand. When there is less supply but a high demand, that is called a shortage. And so because there's a shortage, the price of products will go up because it is in high demand, but there is low supply. And likewise, on the flip side, if there is a higher supply but lower demand, that is called a surplus. So that's why the price of certain products go lower, because there is a surplus. And so, that's why they have to get everything out, because they're going to try to get all that supply out because there's more supply and less demand, though. Less people want it. So here's an example of inflammation in the scriptures. And inflation is not inflammation. Inflation is going around in the world right now as well, right? The prices of gas going up. The price of literally everything is going up. Meat especially, right? You go to the stores, there's not a lot of things left. There's not a lot of bread left, not a lot of cereal, not a lot of anything, not a lot of water. The price of water is going up. Okay? That's always going up because there's a shortage. All right, but let's go back to the 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 2. Right, and Elisha prophesied again that the price will go back up to normal. Right, that's that prophecy in 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 1. 2 Kings 7 and 2. Then a Lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord would make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And when there were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate, and they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? So there were 4 leprous men, right? There were 4 leprous men, and they were like, hey, what the hell are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we just sitting here till we die? Why don't we just go make some moves, right? Because remember, there's a famine in the land. Verse 4, if we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come, and let us fall into the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall but die. So they didn't want to just sit around and die, you know what I'm saying? They went to the camp of the Syrians. It's like, hey, we might as well just go to the damn enemy, be captured there, and at least they'll give us some food, maybe, right? Verse 5, and they rose up in the twilight to go unto the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the utmost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there. So when they came to the camp of the Syrians, there was actually nobody there. Verse 6, for the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear a noise of chariots. So the Lord, and that's a spirit. The Lord put a spirit on the whole host of the Syrians and made them hear things that wasn't even there. And the Lord installed that fear in them, right? To hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of great hosts. And they said one to another, lo, the king of Israel have hired against us the kings of Hittites, the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come up upon us. Wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their life. So the scriptures say that they fled for their life. They were so scared. So the Lord, he can put that fear, you know what I'm saying, into certain people. Now he can put that fear in the police, you know, and make them run away from the general crowd. You know, put that fear in them. You know, that spirit of fear resting upon them. Did not the Lord say in 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7, right? For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So that's the actual spirit, man. When you're afraid, you know what I'm saying? Like literally when you're afraid of a damn bug, you know, crawling on the floor and you screaming at the top of your lungs, you have a spirit on you. You know what I'm saying? That's a spirit of fear. When you fear, even when you fear the creation more than the creator, right? You fear the creation more than the Most High. That's a spirit on you as well. The spirit of fear. And the Lord said, Paul said, the Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, you know, but a power and of love and of sound mind. That's why, Paul, he was preaching a word without fear and all boldness, you know, as it states in the book of Acts, chapter 28. All right. But, you know, the Lord, he can do as he will, and he can put that spirit on the police. We don't know what's going to happen, man. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what the Lord is going to do, you know, and how he might go about it. But the Lord definitely can manipulate men's minds. Just like how there was a Brazilian man, right? And remember, the Brazilians come from Asher, right? Asher. Tribe Asher. But, literally, you know, he was a rapper, and he had jumped out of the damn apartment, or it's like a hotel building, I believe it was, you know, and was 7 stories high. He was trying to run away from his girl. You know, he thought that was his girl was at the door, you know, kind of just roughly paraphrasing. And you can look that up for yourself. That the Lord, he can manipulate your mind and put a spirit of fear on you, and let that be your destruction, right? So with that, you know, all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, MashaAllah, YAHAWASHI, willing, this is edifying. Brother Yasha Allah.